and please ask for help, because it's an absolute disgrace that this goal is allowed. It's an absolute disgrace.
That's Mikel Arteta speaking after Arsenal's game against Newcastle at St James's Park, when a goal by Anthony Gordon was given despite there being 3 different VAR calls, and apparently, despite there being over 30 cameras in the stadium, there's not conclusive evidence that that goal should have been overturned. VAR is an absolute disgrace. Mikel Arteta is completely right. Will he be banned? Will he be fined? Probably both. But I want to see Erik Ten Hag take that lesson from, maybe not a lesson from Arteta, but follow that example. I want Ten Hag to be speaking out against VAR immediately. And I want to explain exactly why in this video. It's not to do with one decision or one contentious decision. It's something that's been building for a long time. Now I want to talk about it. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. You know what I think about VAR. I'm pretty sure I know what you think about VAR. And we all know what Arteta thinks about VAR. But we haven't really heard Ten Hag speak out against it. And that's what I want to change. Now, I'm going to use the example from yesterday, but there are countless different examples that I could use. All right? Because yesterday, and I can't... What even is a subjective offside? Has anybody heard that phrase before? Man United's goal from Scott McTominay ruled out because the referee... I think VAR looked for 4 minutes on the camera and they were like, I'm not quite sure actually. Ref, come over. I don't actually remember a referee being asked to look at a offside decision on a VAR camera, sorry. Mid-game, you can let me know. But obviously, Harry Maguire was adjudged to have taken the distraction away from the defender so that, no one's even marking Garnacho. So what does it even matter? I have no idea. You can look at the rules, you can read through the rules, but I'll be honest, it doesn't matter at all. Because it just seems to be an eye test. It seems to be just a perception of what somebody wants to see, rather than what they are actually seeing. And I said this yesterday, and I swear I completely stand by this. There is going to be a bribery scandal at some point linked with VAR. And I'm not just talking about this from a Manchester United perspective, okay? Now, I'm obviously going to have my Man United tinted glasses on. Yes, I will. Man United tinted glasses. Red tinted glasses on. And I'll focus on that. But this is a Premier League-wide problem. Every single club is affected by how crap that system is. But naturally, Manchester United is affected that much more. ESPN have got this list here, right? Where it follows and tracks all VAR decisions across the course of the season. Where do you think Manchester United rank in this list? Let's have a little scroll through. Total overturns, let's go down. I'll save you time. Man United at the bottom of the list. By some margin. Decisions are going against Manchester United more than they're going against any other club in the Premier League. And it was that goal yesterday which pissed me off the most. I mean, that decision there, the subjective offside, I'm going to be scratching my head about that permanently. But this goal here in particular, because of the parallel that you can draw upon for Manchester United, they decided that ball was in. They decided that it was, quote-unquote, inconclusive evidence that ball was out. Yet they decided that this goal that Højlund scored on his Premier League debut against Brighton, that ball had gone out, despite the on-field decision being goal awarded. They decided that one there was inconclusive evidence, and that one there was conclusive evidence. What difference is there between the two of you? I'm here all day. Someone come at me. Someone tell me what the difference is there. It has to be to do with perception. And this is why I want to see Erik Ten Hag. Look, man, take the fines. Take the touchline bans. I want Erik to be stepping up and speaking out against these decisions. Because I think this is... Look, sport at the elite level is about marginal gains, all right? If you can gain 1% here, 2% there, and collectively put it all together, that could make the difference between a win and a loss. And I think Ten Hag stands to gain more by speaking out against VAR than he does with remaining silent and following the rules. And now I want to pull up the example here of what Jurgen Klopp did back in, 2021 when he said this?
We cannot change it. I heard now that Man United had more penalties in 2 years since Order is there than I had in 5.5 years. I have no idea if it's my fault or I don't know.
I have no idea if it's my fault. Okay. What happened after Jurgen Klopp did that? Well, ladies and gents, let's take a look. Here you've got the list of how many penalties were given in that season to Manchester United. You can see we are there, second to Leicester with 11. What happened after Jurgen Klopp said that? Let's run through the list. We can go down here, scroll. Manchester United, 10th there. Let's keep it on there. Man United, 10th with 5 penalties. What about the season after? Oh, I think that was mid-season because he said it in January 2021. I don't actually know. Anyway, season after. Where are Manchester United on this list? Right, okay, we're down there. Joint bottom with 3 penalties given in the following season. What about this season? Okay, Manchester United joint bottom there for penalties received in the Premier League. Since Jurgen Klopp said that in the press, in the public, he got in the minds. This isn't something that can be, it's not something tangible. It's not something that I can say with complete conviction is the only reason we're getting less penalties. Man United, we're not running into the box as much anymore. Our wingers aren't creating the conditions for those penalties. Sure, I think there's a slight argument for that. But Klopp affected the thought processes of referees. And Manchester United have received significantly less penalties as a consequence of it. Nobody was better at doing that than Sir Alex Ferguson. He was happy to take the touchline bans. He was happy to speak out against it. He was happy to do whatever he felt he could do to get those marginal gains, to somehow make Manchester United that little one level above. And I think, I'll tell you what, I think Ten Hag would actually, we talk about this United against the world mentality. I think Ten Hag actually stands to gain a lot from the squad itself if he was the man to come out and say, it's a disgrace. It's bullshit. Go down here, you can see Manchester United. Nobody is being more negatively affected by VAR decisions than Manchester United. If Erik Ten Hag was to be the manager that came out and spoke out against it, I mean, I'm sure the players are thinking it, but the players can't say it because they know they're just going to get banned. But Ten Hag could do that. He could be the guy that takes the hit so the players don't have to. And I actually think he'll gain a lot of respect from those players by doing it. And at the same time, I think he will gain some decisions. Look, it was shocking. How can you possibly have 30 cameras in a stadium? They can all look at that decision there, and they can't get conclusive evidence on 3 different VAR decisions, all in the build-up to one goal. VAR, on a game-by-game basis, is killing football. You cannot celebrate a goal anymore because at the back of your mind, you're like, well, they might find an accidental shirt tug 4 passes before when the goal was. So I might just hold it back. Bal, who's on a podcast, he went to the Arsenal game. That Garnacho goal. Absolute goonage. Ruined by VAR. By a millimetre decision. VAR was supposed to be brought into, was it clear and obvious errors? And the wording is all changed. And that's what I mean. Like, you can go and read the rules if you want, but it does not matter. All that matters is who's doing it on the day. That's not inconclusive. That's conclusive enough. 2 parallel decisions perceived differently. And it's all just in the eye of the beholder. And that's why I think absolutely at some point in the next few years, there's going to be a bribery scandal. Because now clubs know that if you can affect the VAR room, you may well be able to affect a decision that completely impacts the game. I guarantee you it happens. And I want to see Erik Ten Hag follow the example. I say the example. Arteta's right to be calling this crap out in public. And every Premier League manager needs to do the same. And Erik Ten Hag could have a serious amount of influence with that. Fergie did it so well. Jurgen Klopp, he gained a big advantage for Liverpool by doing it. And I want to see Erik Ten Hag gaining that advantage for Manchester United because as the stats show, nobody is being more negatively impacted by VAR than Man United, whether it's a subjective offside or whether it is a conclusive evidence that a ball has gone out, despite the fact that it was inconclusive for somebody else. It is bullshit. It is disgraceful. And something needs to be done about it. And I think Ten Hag can help exert that pressure because something's got to change.